The streets of downtown Chicago were drowning in rain that night. Thunder rolled like a warning from above, lightning slicing through the sky, casting momentary clarity on the flooded pavement. It was nearly midnight. Dr. Nathaniel Royce, a millionaire obstetrician and former head of surgery at one of the city's most prestigious hospitals, sat in the back of a sleek black car, returning from a gala held in his honor. Dressed in a tailored tuxedo, Nathaniel looked out the tinted windows, his mind elsewhere. Though the crowd had applauded, the speeches had praised him, he felt strangely hollow. Years of success, recognition, and wealth hadn't been able to fill a void that had grown deeper over time. As the driver took a shortcut through a less crowded alley, something unusual caught Nathaniel's eye. A figure slumped against a graffiti-covered brick wall, half in shadow, half in the glare of a flickering street lamp. She looked like she was screaming, though the sound was drowned out by the storm. "Stop the car," Nathaniel ordered, leaning forward. The driver hesitated. "Sir, this neighborhood," I said. "Stop." The car screeched to a halt, and Nathaniel jumped out, umbrella forgotten. Rain soaked him instantly. He sprinted toward the woman. She was young, maybe in her late 20s, and heavily pregnant. Her face was pale, and her lips trembled as she moaned in pain. Blood mixed with rainwater below her. "She's in labor," Nathaniel whispered, shocked. Passers-by walked by with barely a glance, some stepping around her as if she were just another part of the night's discomfort. Nathaniel dropped to his knees. "Hey, stay with me. My name is Dr. Nathaniel Royce. You're going to be okay." The woman, barely conscious, opened her eyes. "Please, save her," she whispered. Nathaniel yelled back to his driver, "Get the first aid kit. Call 911. But deep down, he knew there was no time. He unbuttoned his tuxedo jacket and placed it beneath her. "You're going to deliver this baby right here, okay? I've got you." He spoke as calmly as he could, though his hands trembled. It wasn't the delivery that scared him. It was how fragile she looked, how far gone. She gritted her teeth and screamed. The contractions were close, one after another. Her soaked hair stuck to her forehead. Nathaniel carefully tore open the medical kit his driver brought over and started doing what he had done for decades, bringing life into the world. But this was nothing like the pristine operating rooms he was used to. He positioned her legs, used a clean cloth to gently press against her body, and encouraged her to push. "You're strong. You're doing so well." With a final cry, the woman arched her back, and the baby emerged into Nathaniel's waiting hands. The newborn, a girl, let out a sharp, loud cry that pierced the storm. Nathaniel wrapped the baby in a clean towel. "She's perfect," he whispered. The mother weakly smiled, but her eyes fluttered. "Her name, Hope." Then her body went limp. "No, no, stay with me." Nathaniel pressed his fingers to her neck. Her pulse was fading, weak and irregular. He started CPR, but she didn't respond. The sirens arrived too late. Time seemed to stop as Nathaniel sat in the rain, holding the newborn girl in one arm and pressing his other hand on the chest of a woman he couldn't save. He had delivered thousands of babies throughout his life. He had been celebrated, awarded, even interviewed on national TV, but he had never cried during a delivery. Until now, a woman from a nearby diner came out, her face full of worry. "I saw everything. Do you need help?" Nathaniel nodded numbly. "A blanket, please." She ran back and returned moments later, gently draping it over the baby. The alley, once filled with indifference, now swelled with silent witnesses. Strangers stood in stunned reverence. Even the rain seemed to soften. The paramedics pronounced the mother dead and took her body with care, but Nathaniel refused to leave the baby's side. "She's alone now," he whispered. "But she won't be." At the hospital, Nathaniel stayed in the nursery, watching through the glass as little Hope was cleaned, swaddled, and placed gently into an incubator. Nurses offered him coffee, asked if he wanted to rest. He declined every time. Later, a social worker approached him. "We found a small backpack in her things. No ID but theirs. It was a handwritten letter, crumpled, stained, but readable. To whoever finds my baby girl," it began. "My name is Sophia. I don't have a home anymore. I ran from the man who hurt me. I don't want my baby to grow up in fear. If I don't survive childbirth, please take care of her. Please give her the love I dreamed of but couldn't give. Her name is Hope because that's all I had left." Nathaniel read it over and over. His heart cracked open. Years ago, his wife and daughter had died during childbirth, complications no one could have predicted. After that, he had thrown himself into work, rising in his field but shutting everyone out. He hadn't held a baby in his arms outside of the delivery room since, until tonight, until Hope, Weeks passed. Nathaniel visited Hope every day, holding her for hours, singing softly, feeding her, rocking her. He found himself smiling again, laughing gently when she gripped his finger with her tiny fist. Something that had long been buried in him was awakening. "I want to adopt her," he told the social worker one afternoon. She raised her eyebrows. "Are you sure? You're a public figure, a bachelor. This would change everything." Nathaniel looked down at the baby in his arms. "Everything already has." The adoption process moved quickly. Given his background, status, and the circumstances, the courts granted custody. Media outlets caught wind of the story. Headlines read, "Millionaire doctor delivers baby in the rain. Adopts orphaned infant he saved." But Nathaniel gave no interviews. He didn't do it for attention. One evening, he returned to the same alley where it all began, now holding a healthy, smiling baby Hope in his arms. The sky was clear. The street lamp glowed steadily. "This is where you were born," he whispered. "Your mom was brave. She gave you life, and I'll spend the rest of mine giving you love." Hope gurgled happily, her small hand resting on his chest. Nathaniel stood still for a moment, staring up at the stars. That night, a new life had entered the world, but something else had been born too: redemption, purpose, and a second chance at love. From a lonely street in a storm to the warmth of a home filled with love, Hope's arrival changed more than one life. She reminded the world that no act of kindness is ever wasted, and sometimes the heart we think is broken beyond repair just needs a little light to heal. Love was born twice that night, once through sacrifice and again through grace.